Namaste everyone, and it's me Hema Yella Pragda with yet another lesson on Indian history. We have previously learned about great mathematical concepts and theories developed by ancient Bharat and how that knowledge traveled to Middle East and then to Europe. Today we will learn about source or foundation of this knowledge, that is educational heritage in ancient Bharat. India had a great educational heritage right from our ancient times. We had a great ecosystem of learning in the form of gurukulas, both in the form of ashramas and also sometimes run in the temples. If one reads Mahabharata, one can come across several ashramas by rishis like Shaunaka, Kanva, Vyasa, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, etc. These ashramas were not solitary units run by one rishi, but were assemblage of different gurus which were headed by one or more rishis. A wide variety of subjects were taught. Apart from Vedas and Yagna related literature, several other subjects were taught like medicine, zoology, physics, logic, grammar, mathematics, and many more. These gurukulas were headed by both men and women rishis. Archaeological evidences show that there were several great universities in Bharat from ancient times. Here is a map which shows several great universities in ancient Bharat. There were universities like Nalanda, Sharada Peeth, Takshila. Takshila, scholars date Takshila's existence back to 6th century before current era. It became a noted center of learning at least several centuries before Christ and continued to attract students from around the old world until the destruction of the city in 5th century current era. Takshila is perhaps best known because of its association with Chanakya or Kautilya, who wrote Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, and also the most famous from Takshila who studied at Takshila or Mauryan Emperor Chandragupta, and also Ayurvedic healer Charaka. They have studied at Takshila. And there are also other universities in the south, like in Kanchipuram, and here we can see Ratnagiri in Odisha, and each university or Gurukula was famous for certain subject areas. Students came from different parts of the world to these universities, like students from China, Japan, Indonesia, etc. For example, Ujjaini was famous for mathematics and astronomy, and it was equipped with an elaborate observatory and stood on zero meridian of longitude of those times. Unfortunately, it was demolished by Iltutmish, the Sultan of Delhi, in 1234 current era. However, in 1715, the Rajput king Raja Jai Singh built a beautiful observatory there which can still be seen. It is known as Jantar Mantar. Even Greek scholars like Ptolemy mention of Indian meridian in their maps. The earliest description of standardized time is to be found in a book called Surya Siddhanta in 4th century. Coming to astronomy, Hindu calendars were precise and accurate. Julian calendar was inadequate and couldn't even calculate seasons correctly. Jesuits studied Hindu calendar and mathematical works and revamped their calendar. They had to add entire month to correct the accumulated errors of Julian calendar. Brahmagupta was most famous astronomers of Ujjaini who worked on trigonometrical formulas, quadratic equations, area of circular quadrilateral, arithmetic progression, and improved Aryabhata's sin table. Brahmagupta's works reached to the court of Khalifa al-Mansur in Baghdad and was passed on. The knowledge was passed on from there to Europeans eventually. Due to Muslim invasions, Takshila, Nalanda, Vikramashila, etc. ceased to exist, and the scholars fled towards south by 14th and 15th centuries. And the center for mathematics and astronomy moved to Kerala in south. Although infinity and calculus were concepts developed in India, they are usually attributed to George Cantor, who came later in 17th century, and calculus to Isaac Newton. In 14th and 15th centuries, great mathematicians and astronomers like Madhava Sangamagrama developed infinite series of various rational numbers, trigonometrical functions like sin, cos, tan, arc, sin, etc. Mathematicians like Parameshwara and Neelakanta Somayaji also made huge contributions towards the notion of infinity and computation-friendly series. Madhava's series can create tables of trigonometric functions which are being used even now by US Navy submarines as a standard issue on their boats. These are disaster recovery backups to global positioning satellites, that is GPS, should the submarine ever fail. The navigation of high seas was not done by Europeans till 1700, but Indians were navigating sea much before that. We have all heard of Silk Route, but much before Silk Route, there was a tin route. Tin was mined in Malay Peninsula, processed locally, and was transported via Indian Oceans to ports of Lothal in Saraswati region in India. Then it was processed into high quality bronze, which was used to make artifacts, jewelry, etc. India was a naval power long before Europeans learnt to navigate. Here is summary of what I have talked. And there will be more links provided in description box, so please look out for the links. Thank you everyone, and namaste.